Hello, my name is Crystal Cooper, and today I'm going to be doing my informative speech. There are a lot of things about world history we don't know or fully understand. So today I want to bring awareness to the holiday Juneteenth and what it means to the African American community. First, let me give a timeline of events that led up to the specific importance of this date. January 1st, 1863, when Abraham Lincoln was the president in office, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order that declared all slaves in Confederate states to be set free. Many of the slave masters or slave owners did not abide by this new found law and chose to still keep the slaves in captivity. This day was very important in history. So, June 19th, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas. And once he arrived there, he found that they still had slaves. So he formally freed the slaves that were in Texas. This day became known as Juneteenth, June 19th. Now, that is when people began to celebrate it as a holiday, such as people celebrate Memorial Day, Labor Day, the 4th of July. It was celebrated as such, barbecues, cookouts, all of the good things that people do on holidays that mean something to them. But a lot of people didn't know exactly why people were celebrating this day. Some even called it a new holiday. Many activists always tried to bring awareness to Juneteenth long before it became a federal holiday. Juneteenth is also a day that we used to just reflect the struggle and the fight our ancestors and the ones before us fought for civil rights and equality. Then, on June 17th, 2021, Joe Biden signed a bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. That's when history was also made. This was and always will be known as the historical moment for the African American community. Today, Juneteenth is celebrated worldwide as a federal holiday, and so some people, depending on where they work at, they may receive the day off because the company may be closed, or if they are required to work, it is a paid holiday where you are paid time and a half because it's considered the federal holiday. Now, while we celebrate Juneteenth because of what it's known for being very important, the day that the slaves in Texas were freed, this led me to do more research and get a better understanding that this was not the official last day of slavery. After Juneteenth in 1865, but before the 13th Amendment ratification, Delaware and Kentucky still legally permitted slavery. It had gradual emancipation law that delayed the complete end of slavery, and some individuals were still technically held as apprentices after the end of the Civil War. New Jersey had a system in effect, continued forced labor in some individuals after Civil War ended. Down in Mississippi, while the 13th Amendment made slavery illegal nationwide in 1865, Mississippi did not officially ratify the amendment until 2013. In 2013, Mississippi officially became the last state to abolish slavery, completing the ratification of the 13th Amendment. While Mississippi had initially voted to ratify the amendment in 1995, the required paperwork was not officially filed, leaving a historical oversight. This oversight was later corrected after researchers discovered the missing paperwork and worked to ensure the amendment was officially ratified. So, while Juneteenth is celebrated as the federal holiday, and a lot of people, like myself, until I educated myself more, we believe that it was the last day of slavery, and that was the importance and what the celebration was about. When in fact, it was just simply when Abraham Lincoln had the executive order done for the Emancipation Proclamation. It was the day that they declared that they wanted slavery ended everywhere, and it was the day that it was supposed to, but it was not, in fact, the last day of slavery. And so, just going forward down the timeline of how so many before us fought for us to all have equality and have the same opportunities to have a better life and a better future, we just cannot forget that so many fought, and that fight sometimes, in many different instances, it still goes on. We still have to fight a fight. But we have to appreciate and acknowledge and give the ones before us their flowers who wanted to help fight the fight with the African Americans, because while slavery and racism was a thing, there were still some good people who wanted to end slavery, and they were not African Americans. And so Juneteenth, I feel, is just a holiday and a great day to really show how far they had came from trying to end slavery and just trying to give everybody the same rights, and how so many years had passed even after that, and people were still fighting the fight. And even now, people are still fighting the fight for injustice, bad laws and things that go on, even times where things have happened within injustice in the justice system. You know, it's just been a long road and a long journey, I would say, to say the least. And I think we've made major progress, and we have to thank the ones before us who, without them, none of this may not be what we have today. We may not have the progress that we have made today. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of important information and shed a little light on what Juneteenth is, what it really means, and why the day is important, because I know some people, they just don't really know. And it's okay if you don't know. Just don't ever feel that you're too smart to educate yourself more about what our world history was and what it's become, and how along the many years it has changed and it's still changing. So that's my speech of informing people about the federal holiday, Juneteenth. Thank you.